Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jeng and Jeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. Today we have a man. He will tell us the kind of woman he is looking for. I will tell you rather, because of time difference. Our guy is from Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the United States capital. It's the capital city of the United States. So our guest is from the US. He's Kenyan, but living and working in the US. I believe there is power in a name because the name you give yourself, especially with a bit of understanding, is very important. You are who you think you are. I am who I think I am. Janganjeru is who he thinks he is. If he thinks he's a great man, he's a great man. If he thinks otherwise is his portion. The same applies to you, and the converse is always true. So you are who you think you are. Mr. Gilbert Dollar is a Kenyan man who left for the US 40 years ago. And there was a time when green cards were green cards. He's telling me that in the late or in the mid 80s, he believed that he's an elderly man. At the age of 67, you will ask yourself why he's single and what he is looking for. If you do your minus, you realize that they went there when he was still very young. He was brought up by a mulatto kind of home. A mulatto is a person of mixed parentage. For instance, you have been born to a Luya and a Kikuyu. So your parent, watu wengi wanawaitanga half caste, for lack of a better word. So there are people who will call them half caste. So Gilbert was born to very ambitious parents. His father was educated, his mother was educated. So the mother and the father met in college. So when they were growing up, one of the dreams of the family was to win a green card. And he was telling us that those days, going to get a green card, and when people were thinking of the American dream, and things like that, he was a kind of inspired, because when you grow up in a certain environment, that environment shapes your existence. That environment limits or give you access to different realms. So when he was growing up, he realized that his parents had a greater calling for the US. And true to that, as they were growing up, hata wakiwa wakubwa, they went. So when they went in the 80s, he found himself in a culture crisis. Because the first thing that happened when they were, you see, those times, parents used to get many children. But when they got there, the parents divorced because they tried to keep up together. 5 years did not end. They divorced. And so he was there trying to find himself, even as a young man, trying to work his way to the top. But he realized that something was not going to add up. He was not going to compromise his past and blend his future and come out as a blend of the same. So what happened? He adopted the lifestyle he found there. And while he was there, something very funny developed, because he was not able to get married on time. He was not able to get children on time. He was also not able to get a common kind of you see how people date here from a point of abundance. If you are in a Kenyan college, for instance, there are so many women. If you're a man, if you're a woman, there are so many men. But when you are there, you realize that the demographics were very different. If you get a woman, the women were scarce, maybe because they were busy. Number two, he was not used to them. And number three, because they had changed things. So he was learning everything from being discriminated. When you go there as an adult, it takes a lot of time for you to change accent and speak properly, just like those people, so that you can blend. Ukiingia shule, there's a lot of bullying, and racism imekuwa ikiend. Racism imekuwa ikiimprove. The aspect of racism imekuwa ikiimprove over time, even with civilization, the coming of the media, the social media, and These days, especially in the US, racism is rare as compared to parts of the world like Germany, France, nini. At least in the US, it's better. But racism is still there. Yeah, I believe there are people who give us reports, and I don't know who called a cop on who, because you are black, because you are what, because you are Asian, Hispanic, whatever. So what happened is he got a woman. That woman had children. So they added one. He's a father of one grown daughter. And again, that marriage did not work. He believes it did not have a good foundation. And also, when you enter marriage with somebody who believes that it can work, sometimes it cannot work, it will not work. You enter marriage with somebody who believes that it's a 50-50 deal, it can work, sometimes it cannot work, that marriage is bound to fail. It will fail because the person is not equally committed. That person does not feel the need and the urge to give that marriage their best so that that marriage does not fail. So Mr. Gilbert gave himself dollar, focused on money, and even his email has something to do with riches. I saw the email address. It has something to do with riches. And he's looking for a woman who is between, because he is 67, he's looking for a woman who is between the ages of 45 and 65, but the woman should either be in the US, a traveled woman, or a woman who is going there has, you see, somebody who is not just going because of this window. Is not somebody who is just interested in going to the US. Because if you are just interested in going to the US, when you get there, marriage was just a means to the end. It was a means to an end. So you will not make a good partner. You get it? So he would prefer somebody who is in the US because he is not coming back to Kenya. Imagine having come from this part, having come from Kenya, and you have stayed in the US for more than 40 years or 40 years, and then you are coming back. Unakuja wapi? And that is all you know. You had programmed yourself. Elementary school, not elementary school, some college, tertiary schools, ulimalizia huko, kazi ulipata huko. You're already a permanent resident. You're a citizen. I don't know whether he's a citizen or a permanent resident. Hata Kenya sijui amekuja mara sijui tatu. He does not have the urge. So if you're looking for somebody you can retire together in Africa, this is not a good match. He can only be a good match if you're in the US planning to settle in the US even after retirement. Why? Because he's not coming back to settle in Kenya. So if you're there, it doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter. You have to be a good African woman. After this, I'm sharing his contacts on my Facebook page at Jenganjel, hoping that as many as of those who will be interested will get in touch with him, and probably he will choose the best from the rest. One thing I have noted is that people who come here, irrespective of their age, get so many proposals. You should never even shy away. Maybe you are looking at yourself. I'll do that in the next video. I'll see you there.